So, you went to your visa interview at a U.S. consulate, but instead of getting your visa, you were told that your visa is in 221G, or administrative processing. The word they use is that the visa is refused. This is an incredibly frustrating problem. It's so frustrating, in fact, that you may be considering suing the consulate. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein, and I'm an immigration lawyer, and I help people and families across the country and around the world get their visas out of administrative processing. But today, I want to talk to you about some of the limitations of the mandamus lawsuit. A mandamus lawsuit is not a magic bullet that fixes all cases that are stuck. There are problems and there are limitations to this, and I want you to be aware of what they are. There are 4 reasons, as I see it, why mandamus would not be appropriate for a delayed visa that's stuck in administrative processing. The first reason is if the visa that's stuck is a visitor visa. If you filed an application for a B1, B2 visitor visa and they told you that that application is in administrative processing, mandamus, in my opinion, would be inappropriate. Most visitor visa applications, unfortunately, are denied, and you have very little legal rights when it comes to an application to visit the United States. I understand that the ability to visit the United States is incredibly important to a lot of people, but it's not something that I would take on as a lawyer. I have filed mandamus lawsuits to resolve delayed F1 visas and L1 and J2 and many other types of non-immigrant visas. But a visitor visa, it just seems like too thin of a stretch to me, and I would not take on a case like that. The second situation in which mandamus would be inappropriate to resolve an administrative processing delay over a visa application is when it's just too soon to file for mandamus. And let me give you a sense of what I'm talking about. I was contacted recently by somebody who filed a fiancé petition for her fiancé. And it was delayed in administrative processing, and it's been in administrative processing for several months. She wanted to hire me to sue. But when I looked at the facts, I realized that she filed her petition with USCIS less than a year ago. So it's only been 9 months since she filed the petition. Now, being without your fiancé for 9 months is an ordeal for anyone, and I don't want to make light of that. But nevertheless, the gist of a mandamus lawsuit is that you have to convince a federal judge who might be skeptical. You have to convince that judge that the delay has been unreasonable. And a lot of times people come to me after their visa applications have been delayed for years. For years, I've had people been waiting for 5 years or for 2 years for visas to be approved. But if you've only been waiting in entirety, you've only waited 9 months, that's faster than most applications are processed from start to finish anyway for that particular type of case. So I don't think you're going to have good success if you haven't waited at least roughly a year from when you filed the petition. The third type of case where it would make no sense to file a mandamus lawsuit is if you have a very serious problem with your immigration case. Something is wrong, seriously wrong, and you may or may not be eligible to get your visa approved. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. A couple days ago, I was contacted by someone from India. He went to his visa interview for his H-1B visa in Mumbai, at the U.S. consulate in Mumbai, and instead of getting the visa, he was told the H-1B visa would be in administrative processing. But at the interview, the consular officer was asking him all sorts of questions about his employer's criminal record. So there was some financial misdoings at that company and some criminal history going on with his employer or his boss, the owner of the company, and it looked like there were some really serious and legitimate concerns about whether the petitioner was really eligible to file the petition for this guy. And a mandamus lawsuit is not going to make a visa get approved if it otherwise doesn't deserve to be approved. And I don't think that you should rush off to federal court to sue unless you have a strong case. And most people do have a strong case. Most people who contact me are frustrated, and the reason they're in administrative processing is just for no reason at all. They're just told administrative processing. Their cases deserve to be approved. They're eligible for the visa. There's no genuine reason why they're not approved. It's just this mysterious delay. And in those situations, mandamus works extremely well. The fourth reason why you should not consider mandamus, even if your visa is stuck in administrative processing, is if you think you might be able to wait it out. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. A lot of people go to their interviews and get stuck in administrative processing, but then after a few weeks or even a few months, they get their visas. Now, if you think you can get your visa within a few months, I realize a few months is a long wait, but if you think you can get it within a few months, then by all means, I think you should wait. I don't think you should hire me to do a mandamus lawsuit. It'd probably be better off just waiting. Even though that is an excruciating long period of time, I think it would be a better course of action. Now, the people who hire me and the people who consult with me for mandamus lawsuits, they've been waiting for a very long time. I talked to someone just a week ago who lived in Houston. Her husband is in Afghanistan, and he's been waiting for 5 years. He's been in administrative processing for 5 years. His visa interview was 5 years ago. That means for 5 years, he's been told administrative processing. He's been given that sad, lame excuse about why they can't issue the visa for 5 years. For someone that's been waiting 5 years or 2 years or even 1 year for administrative processing, it's time to consider a lawsuit. If you need help or you have questions, you don't have to go about this alone. Just come at me, get in touch with me, message me, and I'll be happy to help you. Take care.